Knows Best.
Hi, friends, and welcome back to Brenna Knows Best. I'm your host, Brenna Berg. Hi, how are you guys? Happy Monday. Let's get into the stories. Number 1. Am I the asshole for pulling away from my identical twin sister, even though I know it has caused her to spiral? I, 18 female, am an identical twin. I don't know why that was hard for me to read. I, 18 female, am an identical twin. Our parents encouraged an insanely close to the point of codependency relationship, and my sister fell hard into it while I resented the hell out of it. This is something I wanted to read this because I never thought about. I've seen twins. Like, there were a few sets of twins in my high school and they were all really close. They were all identical. Actually, one of my very best friends was a non-identical boy-girl sibling twin duo. Oh my gosh, Riley Benson, his sister, who I didn't really know that well, but he was one of my very good friends. I forget that they were twins. Like, they were so different. He was in sports and she was more like into school, and I don't even really know what she was into, but I can think of a girl set of identical twins and a boy set of identical twins, and like the girls are still close. Like, they ended up going to college together and living together. And I always thought that it would be odd. Like, I think personally, because I'm such a pick me, like I would hate to be constantly like with a person. And of course, if I were born into that and raised into it, it's one thing, but I never thought about like being in that truly. And like your parents, like, we're going to get into it here. Let me keep going and then we can kind of have this discourse. It's just something I never thought of. Like, I don't foresee me having twins or triplets or any of that because that doesn't run in our family lineage, which obviously can happen. Oh my gosh, I saw a TikTok yesterday and it was these two parents, and I didn't watch the first half, or I don't even think the first half was in the video because it was a gender reveal and they were surprising their family, telling them that they're having triplets. They were all boys. So like the video started, it was like 3 boxes in front of them and like the boy, boy, boy. And through the messaging, I could tell that people didn't know it was going to be triplets. Well, then they tell everybody that they're identical, which like, I don't know the odds and the statistics on, what do they call that? Fraternal? No, doesn't that just mean boys? Identical and fraternal, right? Wait, let me, again, this is going to be a learning session. There are identical twins and different genders. What do you call that? Chimerism? That is certainly not the word I was looking for. Fraternal twins, also known as, are produced from 2 separate eggs and 2 separate sperm. Right. Oh my gosh, this is like anatomy all over again. Identical twins are what? The same egg that gets split into 2? I didn't say splits into 2. Split into 2? Strictly speaking, identical twins, monozygotic, if I said that right, twins, cannot be of different genders because they develop from a single fertilized egg and share the same genetic makeup, including sex chromosomes. However, a rare condition called, this is what they were talking about, chimerism? I think that's what we're trying to say. In very rare cases, the fertilized egg may not split perfectly into 2, leading to a combination of cells from both male and female zygotes, resulting in a male and a female identical twin. Oh my gosh. That is actually crazy. This is distinct from semi-identical twins where 2 eggs are fertilized by 2 different sperm. I feel like twins is one of those things, like if you have a pair in your family or you're close to them, you know these kinds of things, but like besides these kids in high school, like I never have really been exposed or close to anybody who's a twin. But anywho, this gender reveal, the boys were all identical. Again, I don't know the statistics or the percentage of like the likelihood that happening, but the family was shooketh, as I can imagine. I think just like finding out, especially for the mom, oh my gosh, it takes me back. We were just talking about the documentary with the 3 boys that were split apart, the 3 triplets. She got knocked up, right? It was a one night stand, or maybe that's not the right terminology. Oh my God, don't cancel me. I just saw a woman get canceled. Well, she said something like out of bounds, kind of. However, maybe we shouldn't say knocked up. I'm thinking that that's not a good thing to say, but like a one night stand. I mean, that's what that is, right? Or I feel like Carter's going to knock me up. Like that's just like the phrase that you use. No. Sorry. Okay, Brenna, do not be hurtful. I don't think that should be hurtful. However, that girl who had the triplets that got split up at birth, she had a one night stand and then found out she was having triplets. She gave them up for adoption. That's how this whole thing went down. She got rid of them, or not got rid of them. Again, I'm not proper in my language, but like, no shit. If I found out with Carter I was having triplets, I'd be like, how are we going to do this? Let alone a woman who had a one night stand. You're a single mom who like, she obviously didn't have money to like take care of the kids, which is the right thing to do. Give them up for adoption, right? Like if you don't have the resources, rather than, oh my gosh, like I don't want anybody struggling. Like I go into these topics about kids and just like how I, number one, wasn't sure if I ever wanted kids, but I knew for a fact I wasn't going to have kids if I didn't have like a decent amount of money. Like I just don't want, I don't want to struggle personally, and I don't want other people struggling. I understand that some people just want kids and they're willing to push through and so on and so forth. But like me personally, I can't imagine anything harder than having children, raising children, and like not being in a good spot financially, or like not having family to help, or not having a partner. Like I just literally cannot not imagine. That has got to be the hardest thing to do on this planet. Anywho, Brenna, why did we get here? Let's keep going. Our parents even named us super similarly. My sister is Katie and I'm Casey, both with an IE. And the spelling of my name was chosen intentionally. Our parents wanted us to match always. This is the part that I was thinking about when I came across this article. Like if I had twins, I understand the wanting them to be the same, putting them in the same outfits, like the cutesy. It's cute, but I never thought about it from a child's perspective, really. Like these are 2 separate beings. And of course, like it's such a unique situation. It's such a different thing. Like I have no idea what it would be like to have twins. Like it'd also be weird if you dress them completely different, unless they wanted to be. Like once they get to the age where they can dress, of course, but like when they're little, I get it. Like the cute little, she's wearing the orange set and she's wearing the pink or whatever. But I never thought about that from the child's perspective. Oofta. My parents and sister always expected us to do everything together. We shared a bedroom and bed our whole lives until June. Oh my gosh, they're 18 years old. Oy. That's when I packed up my stuff and I moved out of our parents' house. Our parents insisted, oh my gosh, so this happened because you moved out? Oh! Our parents insisted to every school we went to and every teacher we had that we'd be in the same class. Insisted. I see. The same class and sitting next to each other all year. Why? That's weird. See, that's too far in my opinion. Like, why? Let them like go out and make other friends and do things. And like, why do they, even if they are in the same classroom, why do they need to sit by one another? That's like a weird control thing, I feel. When we had field trips, we were to be each other's buddy. If one of us was invited to a birthday party, then the other was assumed to be invited too, regardless of whether they were or not. All of our extracurriculars were the same, and it was fucking miserable for me because I hated them. Those were all my sister's interests, not mine. Oh, that's so bad. They just like straight up didn't give you the option. It's one thing if you have the same interests. Again, I think about the twins in my grade. I think they both did cheer. I think the boys eventually split up. I think they both did football, maybe. They were in my brother's grade. Oh my gosh. Well, of course she's resentful. I would fucking hate that. If your parents are making you do things just because your twin is doing them. I understand, and I actually think we have a story like this where parents put kids, like I could understand, is it correct? I'm not sure, but like putting your kids in the same sort of sports, that way you don't have to drive around and whatever, even though I still wouldn't do that to my kid. I want to let them choose. Like if I had twins, I hope that they would choose a sport, and if it's different, we'll make it work. Oh man, no, I completely understand why she would be resentful. Anytime I tried to set boundaries with my sister, she'd discard them and would carry on as normal. And normal for us was being codependent and super enmeshed. I was never very close to our parents, but I gave up on ever having a good relationship with them when I was 11, and they got mad at me for keeping a secret from my sis. This is fucking weird. This is weird. They actually accused me of bullying because I wanted to keep a friend to myself. That's how bad things were. As grown adults, open your eyes and like, I just want what my children want. Like, of course, within reason. If they want to do drugs, no. Like, in a healthy way, but like, the forcing of kids to do anything that like isn't for their goodness, right? Like eating your vegetables, right? Make them eat the goddamn vegetables, or like doing stuff like that, but like a hobby, an interest, like having a friend. Oh, I hate that. My sister has always hated when someone liked me and wanted to be my friend, but didn't like her or want to be her friend. For my sister, we're one and the same. If you like one, you like both. She doesn't see us as our own individual people, just as twins, identical twins who are alike in every single way possible. I remember being in the hospital when I was 14 and she wasn't allowed to stay with me, and my parents were removed from the hospital for abusing the staff over enforcing that rule of no minors overnight. Oh my gosh. I was released after 2 days, and those were the best nights of sleep I had until that point. Oh my gosh. I also felt like I got some breathing room, which I needed. My sister never slept. She was an absolute mess because I wasn't there. It made me wish I could have stayed in the hospital indefinitely. Oh my gosh. It's like a toxic relationship, kind of. Like the one really wants them to be super, super close, and the one just wants to freaking breathe. Oh, we were supposed to go to the same college, live together, and our parents planned on bullying admin at our school of choice into assigning us as roommates. But then I acted like I wasn't going to college. I stayed with a friend and blocked my family for a while before me and my friend moved out of state to go to a community college. I just started everything. I got a job too, so I can support myself, which is also my reason for community college. I did unblock my sister, and it's been awful. I have debated whether I block her again or not, but if I do, I know it will be a forever thing. There's no doing it for just now. If I block her again, I won't ever have a relationship with her again, so I'm trying not to and seeing if she can try and grow. But she fell apart without me. She's already dropped out of college. She's back living with our parents. She has pleaded with me to come and take her home with me. Our parents used her phone to call me and say I'm awful for pulling away from my sister who needs me. You created that codependency. This is 1000% the parents' fault. Like her dropping out of school because she couldn't live without her sister. That is not a good thing as a parent. You want your children at 18 or 19 or 20, of course, with a little bit of help, to get out of the nest and be fine on their own. The fact that she is still codependent on your sister or her sister is insane and a failure of the parents. I hate to say that parents like fail because I get that it's hard and it's a thing, but like this specifically, I feel like that's easy to say. Like what? And you're going to blame the other sister because she wants to like have her own life and actually like be off and like do things. She got a job and she's going to college. Like you should just be proud of her. Oh my gosh. They said I'm being abusive and accused me of trying to kill her with this. What? I can see her downward spiral, but I just can't be enmeshed with her for the rest of my life. I want to be me, not Katie's twin Casey. Am I the asshole? I'm sorry. Why did they also make you stay in the same room until 18? It's one thing if it's the funds. I know I had a shared bedroom with my brother for a really long time, but oh my gosh, that's like insane. Like that's got to be some sort of mental illness that the parents have to like want them to do that or make them do that more so. Oh my gosh, no, this girl like blocking and like no contact with family. Everybody has a different perspective on this, but I could understand. She's 18 years old. She's so young. Like, how does she get away? Oh my gosh. And then the parents to make her feel bad. Like, that, I cannot understand. This, like, I just never understand when people look at a situation and I guess we all have different opinions and ways of thinking about things, but like to me, some things are so black and white. Like you look at this situation, like your one daughter went off to college, right? And you know that she did this to get away. If you don't, you surely should be able to put two and two together. And even if like, there's just no way, right? Like she left the house to move in with a friend and then snuck out to go to college and like work in somewhere out of state. Like, and there had to have also been signs that whole childhood that she didn't love being like with her sister all the time. Clearly, like either they weren't paying attention or they're just like, they're again choosing the other sister because of their own selfish wants and needs and the sister's wants and needs. It's like, I look at this and it's like, clearly you guys messed the fuck up, which it's whatever's done is done, but like we can move forward and like quit trying to put her back in this box. Like your other daughter dropped out of college, moved back home because she couldn't live without her twin sister. That is not like a good thing. You should not be that codependent on anybody. Your parents, like oftentimes I had a girl that I went to high school with go to college and she dropped out. I think because she had a hard time in school in general, but she was so close to her parents and she moved back in and I don't know what she's doing now. But I also had a different friend who was like so close with her parents and like would not move out of the hometown. And I'm like, that to me is like not a good thing. It's like one thing, like you live and I guess it's like whatever people want, but like it's like a codependency. This person I was really close with, it was like unhealthy. I'm like, I don't want that. I really don't want my children to be all up my ass. I swear I'm laughing because Carter hears me talk. We were talking about he has a partner at his office who is on maternity leave. And he's like, I don't understand how this woman just had a baby and she's been out. I think this company in specific has like a better maternity leave than most. I think she's out for like 4 months, which like some would argue that's still not enough time, but like I think that's way more than the normal. I don't know for sure, but he's like, I just can't imagine being a woman, being a mom and like birthing a baby and being with that baby for 4 months and then just going back to being a goddamn lawyer. And he's like, this specifically because they're so busy. He's like, I don't get that. And I'm like, I understand what you're saying, but I'm like, some women, like there are different kinds of women and men. Some women want to work. That was nanny mom. She had those children. They had a live-in nanny. Like she took her maternity leave, got right back to work. They lived in Manhattan. She went to work. Like there are just different kinds of people. And I was saying to him, I was like, I'm going to want help. Like if I'm still doing social media and like doing this and content creation, like number one, I need time away from the child, but also even if I wasn't, see, it feels bad saying this out loud. I'm still going to like need a break and like want a second away. And he's like, well, that's like, of course, like that's normal. But I'm like, but some women don't. Like stay-at-home moms are with their child 24/7. Like that would never be my dream. That would never be my dream. I don't know. Anywho, this is literally crazy. This is insane. I encourage her to like just find a way to get through to them, but she's built so much resentment, which I get it, like totally valid. Her parents forced her to do things she doesn't want to do, made her be so close with her sister. She didn't want that. Like I get being unhappy. I think do what's best for you. Like do not go back to them if they'll force you to stay. Like I don't know, they seem insane. I feel like they would like force her to stay. Oh my gosh. I think therapy probably for everybody, like family therapy would be really good. It's just so annoying. I think about this. There's been one moment in my life where I've thought about therapy, and it was due to somebody else. Like, I feel very strongly in how I feel and what I believe and that I'm doing the right thing, but it was because of somebody else. And like, that's so fucking annoying. Like, why is this person, which is like probably most of therapy, it's like people dealing with interpersonal relationships. But I'm like, I'm the most mentally stable. Like, I've never dealt with mental health issues, but there's been this one moment and I'm like, I feel insane. But like, I feel 100% in what I'm thinking, but I just feel like I need to talk to somebody because what the fuck is going on? Like, why does this other person think something 100% different? Anywho, I think family therapy, but what I mean by that, oh, duh, Brenna, it would be so annoying because she's like, I'm just trying to like live my life and be apart. Like, she would have to go to therapy. Not that it wouldn't be bad. I think therapy is a great thing. And when I thought about going to therapy, I'm like, it would just be an overall good thing, right? Like, I can use it for other things, I guess, talk about other things. But I feel like this girl isn't in the wrong and not like therapy is a punishment, because it's not, but it is cost, it's money, it's time. And it's like, I don't think this girl did anything wrong. Right. But I feel like the only way the family gets through this, like to get through to the sister and the parents, is like family therapy. But she's also an adult and you don't need to do that. I'm in favor of cutting your family off. Obviously, we all know that. Like, I'm not shy to that. But, oh, that's crazy. Something to think about. If any of you out there have twins, remember this story. Okay, next. Let me do a short story next. I almost pulled up a long one. Never mind. I'm just going to read this one. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend if he doesn't propose before the end of this year, I will start planning my future without him? Red flag. Not on the girl. On the fact that you have to give your husband or your boyfriend an ultimatum to marry you. That is the red flag. Just in a relationship. Hello, note to self, note to everybody out there. If you are feeling you need to beg your man to propose, no. Okay. I, 36 female, have been with my boyfriend, 36 male, for 5 years. When we started dating, I expressed to him that I wanted us to grow together and I was dating to marry. He said he was more slow paced with everything that he does, and if we made it to 5 years together, he'd feel comfortable proposing. You should have broken up with that man on the spot. What the actual fuck? This man told you at 30 years old that he's slow paced. That's such bullshit. That is literally such horseshit. Oh my God, that's gonna piss me off. And why would you agree to that? Why would you actually? Because this is what happens. You start dating somebody, and in the beginning, this is where you get fucked. In those first few months, you're so excited and you're so happy. You're like, I love this person. Yes, I would do anything for them. They want to wait 5 years. I'll wait. You gotta be objective. Why the fuck would you wait 5 years? Like, if you wanted to be married, it's has everything to do with being compatible and aligning on marriage and kids and family. Like, that should have just been a hard no from the get-go, but here we are 5 years later. We talked about this throughout the relationship, so this was well established, and we'd both agreed, even though 5 years seemed a bit too long for me, I was understanding of him because his last relationship, which ended 2 years before we met, he'd bought a ring and she dumped him. Oh my gosh. What you just told me is that you guys had this conversation multiple times in the relationship, and even though it's not what you wanted, you agreed to make him happy. I get it, and this is where relationship advice gets tricky because people talk about a compromise and this and that. No. You need to get what you want. And I know this isn't true for everybody, but I feel that women oftentimes do what the man wants. I find myself doing it in my relationship. Like, oftentimes I defer to Carter, which some things are big, some things are not. I would say the majority is small, but like, just the people pleaser nature in me. I've explained this to you guys. Like, I just have that for everybody, for my friends, for my family. Like, I often do things that I don't want to do. I'm getting better at it because like, I want others to be happy. I think that a lot of women are like this. And therefore, in a relationship, like, this is the place you cannot be like that. You need to be objective and be like, what the fuck are we waiting for? After 1 year, you guys are happy, you're together. Like, why are we waiting 5 years? Now, if you're 20 years old and you've been together, you are so young, you're still in college, or you just got a job, whatever. When you're between the ages of an infant, right? Obviously, you're not in a relationship. Like 15 to 25, take your time. I would say after 26, 27, 25-ish, I feel like you're still kind of figuring it out, but like you have a good idea of who you are and what you want, and you find somebody that you're compatible with, that wants marriage, that wants kids, or doesn't want marriage and doesn't want kids, and then that's your person. Right? Then you choose that person. Like, there is nothing that's going to happen in 5 years that's going to change. Like, you already know this person pretty well. Of course, the honeymoon stage lasts a while, but like, if we could be more objective and discern, like, is this person, like, do I love them? Are they respectful? Are they kind? Like, this is somebody I admire and would want to call my partner. And also, do we align on finances, goals, family, lifestyle, religion, politics, whatever the things are for you? Then boom. The fact that this man, oh my gosh, it just makes me so sick when I hear stories like this. Fast forward to now, we've been together all these years, and in that time, we even had a child together. Oh, no. Yet, he still never proposed. I brought it up earlier this year, how this is our 5th year together, and I would really like us to take the next step forward in our commitment and get engaged by the end of the year, our anniversary. He started telling me how he doesn't see the point and doesn't believe in marriage anymore because it's just a piece of paper and there's no need to get the government involved. Oh my God. Because here's my first issue. If he loved you and cares for you and literally had a child with you, if that's truly what you believe, this is, everything goes both ways. When people act nonchalant about something, it's just a piece of paper, whatever, then why don't you just get married? If it's just a piece of paper, then do it. If you love this woman and care about her and want to spend the rest of your life with her, and she really values this thing, do it. He fucking sold you a pipe dream. Oh, it makes me sick. You guys had a child together. Oh my gosh. Which again, if two people don't want to get married, I'm all about that. But they both need to not want that. Like, some people believe it's just a piece of paper. And I mean, I kind of believe that. It's just getting the government involved. Like, again, my relationship with Carter has not changed now that we're married. It's not true, but like, you both need to think that and believe that and want that. Like, that is so fucked up. Oh my gosh. I literally didn't read any part of the story. I just saw the title, but I already know I'm going to be fucking fuming at the end of this. I told him that that wasn't the point and that this was about an expression of our devotion to one another and solidifying ourselves as a family. I offered we could do a different type of ceremony where we didn't have to even involve the government because this is not about that to me. He kept making excuses, and I asked him, where does he want to be in the next couple of years? And he said he just thinks about day to day. Oh my gosh, this is the type of man that if I ever dated, I had to deal with, I would literally drop kick him. This guy has got to be the most insecure fucking loser ass man I've ever seen. I told him that if he doesn't get it together and propose by the end of the year, that I will have to reevaluate his role in my life and make future plans that don't include him, since he is showing me that he doesn't want to be included. No, for real, because if he gets to say whatever the fuck he wants to do, you get to choose what you want with your life. You want marriage. Okay. He doesn't want to provide that. Then go find a man who does and threaten his ass about it. Be like, well, this is something I wanted and you knew that, right? Like, I'm just trying to find somebody who aligns in that. You fucking weak ass little bitch. Sorry. He said I'm an asshole for forcing him to propose and that he doesn't want to. I told him that's fine and he doesn't have to, but that I also don't have to sit around waiting for him and wasting my time on someone who doesn't want to grow old with me and do life together, marriage, family, etc. Am I the asshole? No. No. He is the ultimate asshole for wasting your time and also having a child with you and then deciding that he doesn't want to get married. That is, oh, if you hear a man, here's the thing, and I will scream this from the rooftops. The man, if you want marriage, the man who wants to be with you and loves you will literally want to wife you up ASAP. Like, that is just fact. If you don't want marriage, that's a totally different thing. I don't know how to like evaluate that, but like it's similar to when you just date in general. It's like the guy who's like making you confused and not locking you down and is like, oh, look, I'm taking my time. Like, men don't do that when they want to be with somebody. That is just a fact. There is no nuance there. Like, to me, and like, why would you not want a man who like isn't 100% all in with you? Like, that's the kind of man you want to be with, because if not, like, what the fuck is he here for? Right? Oh, shame on him. And I feel bad for her because now you have a child with this person. There's an edit. Wait, let me read this. When we first had the talk about marriage in the beginning of our relationship, he expressed wanting to be married and wanting to take his time to be sure we'd last because he didn't want to be left eventually if things didn't work out. He would bring up marriage, buying a house, etc. fairly often over the years, and it's only now he's done a 180 and saying he doesn't believe in marriage. Yeah, fuck him. He knew the whole time. Like, you cannot convince me. And that's why he said, like, take things slow, because I know that she referenced the fact that he bought a ring for his last girlfriend after 2 years. We didn't talk about that. He's nervous about it because they broke up. He had a ring after 2 years for her. I'm sorry. Like, what? Like, actually, what? No, I hate everything about that story. Next. Oh, this one's good. And Carter would literally fume if he heard this. Am I the asshole for refusing to shove my butt in a stranger's face? I'm currently on a cross-country flight sitting in the window seat. Shortly after takeoff, the woman in the middle seat got up to use the restroom. I figured this was a good time to also get up. That way, the lady on the aisle wouldn't have to get up twice. I stood up, as much as you can for being in a window seat, and asked if I could be let out. She said I could climb over. She also has this very large carry-on bag that is too big to fit under the seat, so she's got it sitting between her feet, meaning the climbing would be an even bigger climb. The fact that she's telling you to climb over here, the fact that she's telling you to climb over her, what are we talking about? What are we actually talking about? What? You're going to make somebody, and why would you want somebody climbing over you? Just stand the fuck up. Just stand up. I was pretty dumbfounded that she didn't make any move to get up. Instead of pushing it, I just sat down. About an hour or so later, I really needed to go to the bathroom, so I told the woman in the middle seat that I needed to get up. I guess these two are mother-daughter because she said, "Mom, we need to let her out." Middle seat climbs over the lady in the aisle. The lady on the aisle then looked at me and said, "You can climb over." Ow! That's your mom. Tell that bitch to stand up. If I were with my mom or dad and they were saying that to somebody and I watched them say that, I'd be like, get the fuck up. Do not embarrass me right now. Stand up. It's literally so much easier for everybody. Stand up. Oh my gosh. I firmly stated that I'm not climbing over her. I asked her to please stand up and let me out. Yes, I said please. She said no. I again said, please stand up so I can get out. Her daughter says, Mom, I think you need to just stand up. She continued to refuse. She dug in, clutching her things, and glared at me. Her daughter repeatedly asked her to get up. That's insane. This woman is a witch. At this point, I'm pretty pissed off and I really have to pee. And I'm more loudly saying, you need to stand up, ma'am. Please just stand up. Finally, I very loudly said, not shouting, just loudly talking, it is basic airplane etiquette to stand and let someone out. I will not be forced to put my butt in your face because you don't feel like getting up. I pushed the flight attendant call button. Good. I was just thinking, like, what do you do here? Like, there aren't actually specific rules, but like, you gotta let somebody know, right? Like, you gotta have the flight attendants back you up. Once the flight attendant arrived, the aisle seat lady took her sweet time gathering all her nesting materials, including a blanket, snacks, wine, an ancient DVD player with an absurd number of cords attached, and dramatically moved her carry-on into the aisle. She finally stood up. So tell me, should I have just sucked it up and straddled this complete stranger so that she could be more comfortable? No, I'm sorry. If you don't know airplane etiquette, you should not be allowed to fly on airplanes. I literally saw a video this morning by Jack Mack. He's this guy who posts just like funny bullshit. He was saying that he was in the airport and he's like, being here always startles me because it's like, how do you people like live your normal lives? Like, how are you guys all surviving and existing outside of this airport? Because people in airports and on airplanes, like literally, I'm like, how the fuck do you function? Like, what goes on in your head? Nothing. I think, and I've thought about this a lot, and this is like going to be kind of really mean maybe, but people who really just genuinely don't have a high IQ, I don't think that they think. It's like people who aren't self-aware. It's like, I cannot understand not like thinking about things constantly, like especially when you're out in public and you're like, I don't know, thinking about yourself in space or like having a conversation. Like I'm thinking about what the person is saying and how I'm going to respond and so on and so forth, reading the body language. Like I think people with lower IQs really just like nothing is going on in their brain and therefore they're simply just like reacting to things that happen to them. Like when you really think about it, when you talk to somebody who doesn't have a very high IQ, you're not even having the same conversation. Like you guys aren't even like talking about the same things. Like they probably have different, well, this is just true for everybody. We all have different definitions of things. We all think about things differently. Like we're all constantly evaluating like the same conversation a different way. It's so interesting. And I'm like, oh, I really need to give people grace. And I am kind to people, obviously, but sometimes like I see dumb people and I'm like, oh, but they can't help it. They literally can't help it. It doesn't excuse like etiquette. Like that to me is just common sense. Like being kind and respectful and like being on an airplane, this person has to go to the bathroom. Like number one, especially for me, it's already scary for me to ask people to get up. Like I hate doing that. The only good thing about Carter being an aisle seat person and me being stuck in the goddamn middle is the fact that if I do have to go to the bathroom, I only have to ask him because like before, or if I'm not with him and I'm in the aisle or I mean the window seat, like I will piss myself before asking somebody to get up. Like that's just my reality. So like it's already hard enough and like you already feel bad again if you have self-awareness and a care for other human beings, like to ask to get up and then a person is making a stink about it. Like if that happened to me, I would literally die right then and there. I'd be like, okay, well I guess I'm not going to the bathroom. I'd be like, okay, no problem. Or I would climb over them. And oh my gosh, that's horrible. Okay, let's just go on. Next. Am I the asshole for ruining my partner's early birthday celebration after he kept calling me crazy and telling me to leave? I, 23 female, went out last weekend with my partner, John, 24 male, for an early birthday party celebration with his friends. His birthday was the following weekend, but he wanted to celebrate early and invited me along. We met at his house and then rode with some of his friends to a pre-drink at one of their apartments before heading to a bar. The Uber dropped us off slightly away from the right spot, and as we walked, I was making conversation. John suddenly pulled me aside and told me I was acting crazy, talking too much, and that I should be quiet. That threw me off, but I let it go. I'm sorry, your partner told you just randomly, sort of, that even if you were acting crazy, again, I need to I understand I say the same things again and again. Even if I was being crazy, Carter would never tell me to stop acting crazy. And the fact that you're just walking and talking and, maybe making a joke about how the Uber dropped you off, and he pulls you aside and says that you need to stop acting crazy and that you're talking too much and you should be quiet. That is grounds for divorce. I know they're maybe not married, or maybe they are. No, they're 23 female, 24 male. Probably not. Oh my gosh. I would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm going to talk as much as I want to. And now that you said that, I'm going to talk even more. Actually, this morning, I drove Carter to work, and he not always actually, because typically I'm the GPS. He always uses his maps, and I always know where I'm going. I know the roads of Dallas like nothing because I never used a GPS, but he recently started taking a new route to work, and I've only done it once. Right. And we take the tollway, and there's an exit and an off ramp, and there's certain lanes you need to be in because this one veers and that one and whatever. And we drove it one time, and these aren't new roads to me. I knew the way, but he had a certain way he wanted to do it or go. Fine, totally fine. I remembered it. Again, I know these places, I know what I'm doing. This morning we're on the tollway. I'm in the far left lane. Yes, I'm in the far left lane, and I need to be over one, but I don't need to do it right now. And Carter told me right away, he's you're gonna have to get over. And I'm I will literally drive us into the left side guardrail. Don't fucking tell me what to do. I'm gonna get over. I have that thing where it's don't tell me what to do ism. That shit sends me up a wall. If my partner told me to stop talking too much and then I'm acting crazy, I would quite literally start making the biggest scene you've ever seen. And I'm not even a person who likes to make a scene. That actually would make me die. But I would do that if somebody told me that. Okay, let's keep going. At the apartment, I greeted everyone and sat at the table waiting for my sister, 20 female, to arrive. John asked me to sit with him and his friends, but I said I was fine where I was. One of his friends, Alex, sat near me and asked about uni, and we had a normal conversation until my sister came. She and I spoke in our native language, which John doesn't understand, and when he asked what we were saying, I told him it wasn't anything important. That seemed to irritate him. Later, when people asked why I was being quiet, I asked some of his friends if I had been acting crazy or annoying earlier. They all said no, which John overheard. At one point, John came into the room where I was with my sister and accused me again of being too high energy. What the fuck are you even talking about, sir? Even if she was, so what? Why is he trying to control you? Ew. He told me I should come down to his level. I said I shouldn't have to mirror him, and he got frustrated. Talk back to this man. The thing is, the men who are like this are always, or they find a submissive girl who don't talk back to them, and those men need it the most, right? The men who are so controlling and insane and psycho, if I were with that man, I would be the biggest fucking bitch. That would obviously be a toxic relationship, but it's oh, quit, chill out. What do you even mean? Throughout the night, he kept coming up to me in front of others, saying things like, if you don't want to be here, you can fuck off. I'm sorry, what? This happened more than once. At the bar, after he said it again and swore at me, I refused to kiss him when he demanded it. No, no, no. This is like a fetish of his. He like gets off on like being a fucking asshole. Eventually, after more swearing and him being in my face, I snapped. I knocked his drink out of his hand. Then, when one of his friends offered me a drink, I poured it on John's head. I'm sorry, what? Is this real? He tried to push me away and ended up punching me in the shoulder. After that, I grabbed my sister and we left. This is like the biggest toxic relationship. I feel like maybe a lot of women have actually been in a relationship like this, maybe not being hit. I don't know what she means by punched in the shoulder, but oh my gosh, you poured a drink on your boyfriend's head. I mean, he's been an asshole, totally, but like this kind of reaction, it's giving college. It's giving college, like they love the toxicity. Oh my gosh. Now, John says I embarrassed him in front of his friends, ruined his birthday celebration, and made a huge scene. From my perspective, I was just trying to defend myself after being called crazy, dismissed, and repeatedly told to leave. For context, John had been drinking earlier in the day and also took some drugs at the pre-drinks. I was drinking too, but not heavily at that point of the altercation. This was the first time we've ever had an argument at this level. Normally, disagreements are minor, like over movies. There was one past fight where he said I didn't do enough for him, but we resolved that after talking it through. We've been seeing each other from May to September, not officially in a relationship yet, but we've discussed being exclusive. So Reddit, am I the asshole for how I handled things that night? No, you gave him what he deserved. He was being an asshole to you. Like what? No. No, no, no. This is obviously just like a young toxic relationship, but there's an edit. I posted in the comments, but I didn't know if people were seeing. After leaving the bar, I ended up going to another party. I cried and was with my friends and told them about what happened, and they supported me. Around 5:30 a.m., I went to John's house to grab the rest of my stuff. His dad let me in, but when I started asking John about where some of my things were, we got into another argument. His dad stepped in and suggested that I come back the next day, but I refused. I told them I just wanted to get my things and be done with him. John and I ended up outside swearing at each other. He told me I humiliated him in front of his friends. I told him that he humiliated me first by swearing at me unprovoked multiple times. For most of the night when he was swearing at me, I was honestly in shock and just stayed quiet and refused to kiss him. He argued I should have ignored it and acted like nothing happened, then talked later. No, that's abusive. That is like literally manipulation. I don't know all of the terminology. No. So you can just sit there and cuss at me and tell me to fuck off and I just have to sit and take it and then we can talk about it later. This guy is a control psychomaniac. Get so far away from him. Get literally so far away from him. At one point, John said, I act like I can't be controlled. Ah! Why would you want a woman who, well, I understand why he would want a woman who like wants to be controlled or like act like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Just when you think like, sometimes I feel like we've progressed really far in society as a society. Stories like this just like set us way back. I'm like, wait, there are men out there that like, this is like what I imagine in the 1900s were like the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, like men, because like women had no goddamn fucking rights. They had to get married and like have kids just to like be able to get a driver's license and like live their goddamn lives. They had to be controlled by men because like there was no other way, right? Unless you like lived with your parents, but like I think parents also kicked you the fuck out of the house. That's what happened then. Like, I feel we could not be farther from that now, but there are still men like that. That's literally so scary. And that I should be more submissive to him. No. Ew. Like, it's so interesting because me and Carter were actually talking this morning about me being a traditional wife, a trad wife, which like I'm not a trad wife. And I don't even really know the definition, but like, yeah, I help Carter like get ready for work, and like I cook dinner, and like I do like things like that. But like the last thing Carter, like to control me, he wants a submissive. If anything, like I feel like men want, I always say this, like a crazy girl. Like, not that I'm fucking crazy, but I feel like Carter loves that like I do what I want, and that when he tells me what to do, I'm gonna do the opposite. And of course, these are like very minor things. And also, we're like such a healthy relationship. Like, this is like the most toxic, horrible relationship I've ever read. Whereas, like, ours isn't. But like, there are dynamics in a relationship. Like, I understand, like, men, like, just basic biology, like their testosterone, like we act differently, we think differently, we feel differently. Like, generally speaking, like men aren't that emotional. Some are, right? There are some, but like most of the time not. And like women were more emotional. Again, our hormones, like this is just biological. But like, you should be more submissive. Like, if the word submissive ever came up in a conversation at all with Carter, I would literally be like, what the fuck? Is this a literal punked episode? Is that guy gonna come running out and the cameras are there and you're gonna say punked? Submissive? Ew. Ew, ew, ew. And he's like 24 years old. Oh my God. I've told him before, I won't tolerate someone who tries forcefully to control me. And if that's what he wants, he can leave me alone. Hearing him double down on that confirmed what I'd already started realizing. Some background: the only other real fight we've had was months earlier when he said I wasn't doing enough for him. In reality, that came from raising the issue that he was selfish in bed and I was left unsatisfied multiple times. Oh my gosh. I brought it up privately and we discussed it more than once because I wanted to make sure I didn't make him insecure. This is like the biggest little bitch boy. And that's the thing. Men who act like this dominant, like they want a woman to be submissive, that they can control, they're the most insecure fucking men on this planet. And that's why they want to do that, because it gives them some semblance that they are in control when they're actually just like a little bitch deep down, and they're insecure and they're literally so weak. Right? They want a woman that they can just like boss around, or like at least pretend to be submissive. That way they feel powerful and big and like whatever the fuck that feeling is for them. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. Of course, this is the same. Like, the stereotype is like so like spot on. It's almost comical. Like, of course this man doesn't satisfy his woman in bed because that's how that is. They don't care. He's selfish. That's true. He doesn't know how because he's weak and he like cannot hurt his little ego to just like ask if he's like getting you off. Oh my gosh. I just like cannot. Every girl has dealt with a guy like this, maybe not to this scale. Like, I've never been with a guy who like wants control and wants me to be submissive, but I've been with guys who like have a big ego, and like you can't fucking bring up the fact that you have never come because like he would cry himself to sleep. During our text argument after the party, he told me I should go fuck someone else. What are we, 10 years old? And I asked if that's why he, of course, okay, I'm sorry, of course 10-year-olds aren't saying that, but like, are we children? Like, go fuck someone else. Ugh, they are young. They're 24 and 23. And I asked if that's why he was being so nasty because of that past conversation. He said I was dishonorable and other insults. We went back and forth with the swears and texts. He listens to Andrew Tate, no doubt in my mind about it. Because what? This is like a real conversation. This is like a real thing. Dishonorable. Like, these are words that have never even come across my desk in a conversation with a man ever. In the end, I don't regret pouring my drink on him as much as I regret not removing myself the first time he spoke to me like that. And yes, I did tell him I did not want to be with him after the altercation at the bar, and reiterated while grabbing my things also. Thanks for everybody. I think everybody in the comments, like the first one is, I hope the red flags have slapped you in the face enough to see it. Yeah, no, what? I'm sorry, what? That's crazy. But not to like give it any, like excuse. right? Not that I think women should have to go through relationships like this, but I do feel like this is such like a young college relationship. Like the getting in fights at parties and going out and fighting over the stupidest fucking bullshit and being drunk, right? Like that always happens, which like clearly this is how he really feels. And I'm glad that that came out, because you don't want to be with a man like that. But it's also like, what? Okay, and the last story, you guys, I've never really thought about this, and I thought it'd be interesting to like put in your guys' brains, because that's what these stories do. Like I think about myself, and some of them I hope I never find myself in, obviously, but then others I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be in this position. Like, what do I think about this? Because it's similar to like how you should have conversations with your boyfriend before making him your husband. Like things you don't even think about. Like what if your dad dies, your mom dies? Like what if you lose, God knows, like things that you hope never happen, but like things that could happen. What if we have to relocate for a job? What if this, like what are our thoughts on like all of these random things, right? What if we can't have kids? Like I think something that people never think about is like, yeah, you want kids, but some people are not able to, right? Because of whatever the reason is. And it's like, have you guys talked about that? Like Carter and I talked about that a long time ago. I'm like, what if I'm not able to conceive? Like that could just happen, right? Like, are we open to adoption? Are we open to no kids? Like, what are your stances and thoughts on that, right? Like things like that. But this is like super minor, but I thought it was interesting. Am I the asshole for not wanting my 4-year-old daughter to join a soccer team simply because I don't want to get up early on Saturdays? My husband has said he thinks I'm being selfish, and I am, but I am being strategic here. I'm a mom of 2, 4 and under, currently 5 months pregnant as well. I'm a kindergarten teacher and I have narcolepsy. So, needless to say, I'm tired all the time. Saturday is the one day in my week where there are no set plans, and I like it that way. Why do I need to ruin the one day I get to choose what I want to do just so my 4-year-old, who probably won't know what she is missing, can go play a sport she probably isn't ready to play anyway? She has years to pick up a hobby / extracurricular. I just don't see the point right now, other than to stress me out even more than I already am. Point blank, I'm just tired and don't want to. So I can't even say it's not selfish, but we are allowed to be selfish on some things, and I feel justified because I'm at my personal capacity. My husband won't even be able to help with every game because he sometimes works weekends. So no, I'm not interested in putting my kids in sports right now because I will likely flake on those days that he works. Also, we live in a very hot state. I have zero interest in spending more time outside than I have to. My husband's reasoning is he wants her to be athletic and mostly that she will make friends and have fun socializing. I'd rather help her socialize through play dates, not a weekly commitment to be on a team. My in-laws have made it clear they agree that it would be good for her, and I'm being unfair. Why are your in-laws involved in the conversation? Stop that. 2025. Stop allowing your in-laws or your own parents to be in conversations with you and your husband. Oh, I cannot understand. I literally cannot understand that. And I get it. I don't even need to get into it. Anywho, my family thinks it's not that important right now at 4, but say she would have fun. So what do you think? Am I the asshole? That's the story. I'm absolutely dead. I get where she's coming from. If it were me, I would 100% put my daughter in soccer because I'm so excited for my kids to be in sports and I wake up early and I'm not tired all the time. I would love, love, love that. Therefore, I don't see myself being in this situation, but potentially how do parents decide? I don't want to do this, so I'm not going to have my kid in that. That is a very selfish thing to do, but you are allowed to be selfish. And it's totally different if your kids are already in things. And I was in soccer very young. My dad put us in, but he wanted us to do it. He also wanted us to want to do it, but he did put us in things. And I'm going to do the same with my kids. I think it's socializing, the athleticism, the team bonding, I think sports are just good for children in general throughout high school, the team aspect and whatnot. However, I'm dead. But like, she has narcolepsy. She's a teacher. She has another child, mind you. And it'd be one thing. It's like, okay, if the husband wants to, he can take her. I mean, I would just say like, you're taking her all those days. And here's the thing, if I don't want to, I don't want to. I mean, that's like horrible because it's a commitment. Like, I would never personally do that, but like, we also sometimes like, it's just like kid things, right? Unless they need a major commitment, it's like, is it that big of a deal? I don't know. Ooh, this is something that you need to talk to your partner about. Like, if this happens, like, what's our situation? Like, how do you feel about this? I guess you wouldn't know until you're in it, but oh my gosh, there's an edit. I want to read that. My daughter has been enrolled in soccer. Believe it or not, I actually have a very supportive village, including my in-laws and husband. Maybe I'm selfish, but it is because I know that if I burn out, I will not be a good mother, teacher, wife, or person. LOL. And that's fair. That's completely fair. Like, if you're overstretched, like if you're overcommitted, like, you do need to take care of you. But that's where you as a team, you need to figure out you and your husband, because like, I saw a story and I almost brought it up, but it was like so stupid that I didn't. But it was like, am I the asshole for making my husband solo parent for 30 minutes a day? She wanted to like cook dinner. I don't remember the legalities of it, what the man was saying, if he was like refusing or what, but like, she was literally in a predicament. Number one, solo parenting, you just mean parenting. He's the dad, right? How are you, like, how was that question even worded like that? Like, asking my husband to solo parent? He is the parent. That's just parenting, just like you do it, first of all. Second of all, 30 minutes a day so she could cook dinner. I'm like, what the fuck are we even talking about? That's crazy. But anywho, I get it, being burnt out. Again, like, this is my biggest fear as being, or like in being a mother. Like, the one thing I can foresee happening is me being at my wit's end, because I am bad about my independence and like needing downtime and needing me time, right? And you don't get that as a mom, and I understand that. And that's why I think, regardless of my working situation, I would want help, because I don't want to lose my goddamn mind. Because like she said, I will not be a good person if I am like overextended and like unhappy, right? So I kind of get it. Everyone needs rest and time for themselves. If that makes me selfish, then oh well, I'm unashamedly selfish. I love my children more than anything in the world, but I have needs too, and they need to understand others have needs as well. It's a good thing to say no sometimes. I agree with what she's saying. I also clean the house on Saturdays and know if I get up and leave the house early, I will find other things in town to do and never come home to clean. My children need a clean home to live in more than extracurricular activities. However, I am giving this a try and will continue letting her do soccer if she likes it and if it works for the family. I don't disagree with what she's saying at all. They do need a clean home. They need a happy mom. And like, this is why moms need to take care of themselves, and so much easier said than done. I get it. And some women are probably laughing right now. Like, you just don't get to. I think you need to carve out that time, whether that's a workout, whether that's coffee with a friend. Like, you need to take care of you, because that will help you be a better mother. In my morning vlog today, that you may or may not see, was on my walk, and there used to be a moment in my life where I was working like a million jobs and doing real estate, and I had 1,000 clients, but I would get out and go on these walks, and there were times where I felt really bad about it. I'm like, Brenna, you could be doing something, you could be working, you could be like doing this, that, and the other, and like, I would feel bad for going on a walk, even though I knew it was good for me, even though I knew it'd make me more productive. Like, there was like this battle. I had to like girl math my walk, and I'm like, no. But it's like that. It's like, you, to be a good mom and wife and person, human being, you need to take care of you. And of course, there are compromises when you're a mom. That's your like one job, but it's important. And I think however you can make that work, and saying no to things, like, again, it's not like you're not allowing your 7th grade. Like, as they get older, I think it's really important that they're in extracurriculars. But for right now, it's like it's fine. They're fine. Right. That's just something that two people need to work out as a couple, right? Like, not everybody's going to be in that predicament. Most people, maybe not most people, somebody works on the weekend. Like, if that falls on you and you like, take care of yourself. Okay, you guys, those are my thoughts. Those are my stories. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have the best week, and I will see you on Friday. Okay, bye guys.